Here I am. Yay, I did it. I can't believe it. Yay, yay, yay. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for being here live and for subscribing to my channel so I can see your names. I am so excited. So, thank you all so much. So, it's a beautiful Monday. It's a full moon, and this full moon is a really special moon. It's a super moon, which means that it's closer, so it appears bigger. But it's a Scorpio moon, and Scorpio is very emotional. Scorpio likes to be secretive, and it's a challenging and emotional moon, right? And I've been feeling this for about 3 days. This moon is powerful and very emotional. So we want to know that going in. We want to be aware of that and be ready for it, right? But one of the positive things about this moon is that how Mars is aligned with the moon right now, it brings us the courage that we need to forge ahead. Because when things feel emotionally overwhelming, it can be too much. We can feel hopeless. We can feel like we can't, we just can't do it. And Mars is here to tell us we can do it. We can do it. Stay the course, forge ahead. We will be fine today, because I've been thinking about hope a lot the last week or two. We've had my little family, we've had a lot of people that we love have some really serious health things, and even we've lost some people. And it's been a real challenge, and it's easy to feel like, what next? We can't handle this. It's just too much, and to just want to give up and just feel like, what's the point? Really, like, what is the point? And it's, this is the time when we want to stay focused. We want to remember that we're here for a purpose, and we want to stay the course. So the person that we lost, unfortunately, a young man, very close with my family, really feels like family to us. We were at his celebration of life on Thursday, which was unbelievably beautiful, by the way, as they often are. But I was sitting there, we were there early, and I was watching all the people come in, and just people, coming, and so many, and like hundreds, maybe 250, 300 people, a lot of people. And my heart, on the one hand, was huge and excited, and felt such love and gratitude for all these people there that were coming to celebrate this beautiful human that we all love. And then the other part of me was sad, because it's like, why do we save this tradition for when somebody passes? Why do we save that tradition to come and pay our respects and say how much we love that person and how much they meant to us and how they impacted our life for when they're gone? I know it's helpful to the family and the friends that are here still, but really those things are for that person, for the people that we love that have gone. And it's a shame. I was having a conversation this morning about this, and a woman said, she feels it's because we're not told that there is strength in feeling, right? If you're emotional, or if you feel, or if you want to talk about your emotions or show them, that's a sign of weakness in our culture. And that's really unfortunate. And it really got me thinking, I want us to have new traditions. I want us to have a way to celebrate each other here and now while we're here, because it's really easy at times to feel like you're not loved, right? We all can feel isolated and alone, especially this year, and especially young people, right? They don't have the skill set to deal with what's going on. As adults, we barely have the skill set. How can they, right? And so it's important, I believe, that we create a new tradition in our lives of reaching out to the people that we love and that are important to us. If we think about somebody, I don't know about you guys, but this happens to me all the time. I'll think about somebody and think, oh my gosh, I love them so much. I haven't seen them in a long time, but thinking about them, and I'm holding them in my heart. And then I'll think, I need to reach out to them. And then 10 other things will come up in life. and then I've forgotten. And this happens, right? But maybe we can carve out some time, like in our busy schedules, because we're all busy. We all have a lot of things to do. That's just the way it is nowadays. But if we could carve out some time, if we could dedicate some time in our schedule, once a week, once a month, whatever it is, to reach out to some people that we don't have communication with all the time and just let them know we love them, right? I'm thinking of you. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I get a message from somebody that says, I'm thinking about you today, it warms my heart, because at the root of it all, that's what it is about. We are here, humans, to have a social experience and to be connected, and to know that we are connected and that we are thinking of each other, and that we there is meaning and purpose to our life. So that's my goal. And, I challenge all of us to do that, to just take some time, put it on our schedules to reach out. It doesn't have to be a big, long thing. It can just be, hi, love you, thinking of you, or it can be long, whatever you have the time and the space for. But if we actually made a point of doing this while we're here with each other, what a difference that might make in our lives, right? What a difference that might make. Suicide the numbers are through the roof. We're not talking about those numbers. We don't hear anything about that, really. You have to search it out. You have to find it. But this past year, the past 14 months, our numbers have increased. And unfortunately, here where I live in Utah, we have slid back into the number one spot for suicides of children. Ages 10 to 15, I believe, is what the age range is. And that's unacceptable to me. And, we will never know if reaching out might have helped that young person, not that he wouldn't have passed, but maybe to just have some peace while he was here. And so let's do what we can do. We're here to be, love. And whatever we can do to express that will be wonderful. So thank you all so much. And, that's hope. That's hope, really, right? At the end of the day, if we don't have hope, we don't have much. And we don't feel like there's any reason to go on. And honestly, in full transparency, there have been many days in the past, 6-7 months that I have felt hopeless. And I have wondered, what is the purpose? Like, what is the purpose? And in those times, it's my job, my responsibility to dig deep, to find the tools that I need, to connect with whom I need, physically, spiritually, whatever the case is, to remind myself of that hope, that it's always present. It's always here within. I just need to remember that it's there and go looking for it. So if there's anything that I can do for any of you to help you with hope, or to help remind you of who you are and what you are here to do, please reach out to me and let me know. You can comment here. You can also email me, Michelle with one L, Michelle@michellesnelling.com. You can find me on Instagram, Michelle Snelling, and message me. But, we're here for each other. And I think that a very small act of kindness and just being committed to it can make a huge difference. So, and with that, I am so grateful that you're all here. So, who wants a card? I am so excited to pull some cards. So, I need you guys to comment card in the comments, please. Oh, I love that, Hope. She sends a quick card in the mail and it only takes 5 minutes and makes the biggest difference in someone's day. And that is so true. That is one of the things that I have really loved over this past year is I have been getting more mail, more handwritten cards than ever that I can remember, right? And it has meant so much. I save them all. And sometimes in those days when I'm not feeling particularly, like a light or like a beacon of love, I go through and I grab those cards and I read them, right? And it helps me remember, oh, yes, like this is what I'm here for. Because it's hard. We're living in times that they're uncharted times and we don't know how to do this because we've never done this, right? And so it's all new for us. So there's no shame in that. There is no shame in admitting that. There is no shame in admitting that you're struggling. we have to be honest about these things. That's how we heal. That's how we, that's how we awaken and find compassion. That's what it's all about, finding unconditional love and compassion for ourselves first and foremost. Then that spills out into everybody. So, all right, cards. We've got Sean. I'm going to write these down. We've got Hope. We've got Leslie. Hi, Les. We've got Natalie. Oh, and Natalie, I love you as well. Oh, I'm just so grateful for all of you today. I just can't quite express it. So I haven't been doing many lives. I haven't been on social media in any way, shape, or form very much lately because I've been healing myself. And part of that means that I have to be quiet and a good portion of the time and be very discerning about when I come forward. So I'm so grateful to be here. Tammy. Awesome. Okay. And Suze, if you want a card, I know you're working and lurking in the background, but I'd be happy to pull a card from you. Thank you so much, you guys. And Jennifer, got you down. Okay. So I'm using two card decks today, guys, I use them, but I haven't used them for readings before, but I'm so excited to because I love them. So this one is called Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. And I love it because it's just very simple and very straightforward. This one is called Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. And don't be afraid that this is called Seasons of the Witch. It's beautiful. It's very, it's very feminine. It's all about the divine feminine, honestly. So I love it. Love it. So Sean, this is the deck that I'm going to be using for you right now. And Nadine. Thank you, Nadine. So happy to pull a card for you. And Les, I will absolutely let you know. I feel like I'm getting better and better every day, which is super important. And, that's how I'm choosing to look at my progress. It's not like here one day and then gone the next. It's how am I feeling day to day, and I'm making progress. And so that's everything. So I appreciate it. And I look forward to the time when I can be back on live with Leslie, because Leslie's Thankful Thursdays are amazing. If you guys are on Facebook, go find Leslie Hoffman on her public page, and you will love what she does. All right. So, Sean, what a beautiful card. This is Wolf. Okay. So this says, devour the ferocious calling within, the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. Okay. So intuitively, what I'm getting with this card for you is that we want to be careful, because oftentimes we can feel like we're the lone wolf and that we've got to do it alone. Right. But I want you to notice there's two girls here, right? Whoops. Two girls with the wolf. So where can you, Sean, allow some help? Where can you have the ferocious, strong spirit of wolf that makes you independent and know that you can forge ahead? Know your capability, and you feel so capable. But, also know when we need help. That is so important, knowing when we need help. Okay. So does that make sense, Sean? I hope that helps. And I'm going to say that that's for the full moon as well. And Shelby, hi, thank you for joining us. And I've got you down on the list for a card. Okay, Hope. We're going to use the Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom card for you. This deck just feels really gentle and soft. And that's what I feel like. The more gentleness, the more softness you can bring in, Hope, the better it will be for you. The more, the easier it will be. The more able you'll be able to, the more you'll be able to handle, the ups and downs, the waves of life, so to speak. So this card is Enlightened Heart and Mind. Okay. And to me, this just says, like, I love how she's doing that back bend, right? Whoops, get it straight. That's a fully open heart center. And it's like, I feel like you have this ability, you have this knowing that you need to open your heart center, but you open it and then it feels a little uncomfortable or it feels a little exposed. And so then you close up a bit. But the more that we can open our heart center, like, don't think about standing up straight, thinking about opening your heart center. The more that we can do that, the more that we can not only give, but we can receive, which helps us to be better givers. We're more effective givers when we are receiving channels as well. Okay. And so that means, you know, oh, yeah, hope that makes sense. Divorce Central. Yeah. So, um, you know, open. And as hard as that is, even if it's just a millimeter more open, that will be everything, right? And then we know that we can do that. And then that helps us to feel safe to go a millimeter more the next time. So it's just about practice and doing and being present. So I love that, Hope, for you. Okay, Leslie. I'm going to use these Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom again. I love them. And again, it feels like we just need some gentleness, right? And some kindness, some compassion. And you know what? It's often easy for us to do that for other people and easy for us to forget to do it for ourselves. And it's got to be first and foremost. So, you know, I'm part of this beautiful new app called Ajatakasha. Hope is in the app and some other people, I believe. So, but this app is all about compassion, and it's, you know, a nonviolent space. And what I have noticed is that as I'm like really being mindful of being compassionate and being nonviolent, what does that really mean? The language that I use, how I speak to people, but it really, like, I was highly attuned about how I was, you know, bringing my compassion to outside of me. And then one day I realized, oh, good Lord, like, I need that compassion. I need that nonviolence, because the way that I talk to myself sometimes is really damn abusive. And I would, you know, if somebody was talking to a friend like that, I would be furious, or a family member. So, you know, got to be careful about that and be mindful. Be compassionate with yourself. Love yourself first and foremost. Okay, so this one is all about partnership. Okay, and it says regroup. So what I'm feeling for this intuitively for you is, you know, knowing, like, how do you want to regroup? Like, if you were given the chance today to say, okay, Les, here's your opportunity. You get to change it and your partnership or your life and allow it to be anything you want. You know, if we were posed that question, that opportunity, would we know what it is? Or would we have to pause and go, ooh, hold on, I got to figure that out, right? So this is saying, like, get clarity about it. What do you want your, you know, your partnership to look like? What do you want it to feel like? What do you want the essence of it to be? Do you even want a partnership? And maybe, you know, maybe the partnership is you in spirit, and that's what you need to work on right now. Maybe the partnership is you and some children. Maybe the partnership is, you know, you and friends, whatever it is. Get clarity about it so that it's always right there. And then that's what you're manifesting. Okay. So I hope that helps, Les. All right, Natalie. Natalie, I feel like you need an action card. And so we're using the Seasons of the Witch. I love these. Look at, can you guys see how beautiful the red foil is on the outside? I just love them. My daughter bought these cards. And at first I was like, oh, I'm not sure. And then I pulled a card and I was hooked. And so I had to go find them for myself because I love them. And I've been having so much fun with them. And what they're really fun because you've got two creators on the deck. You've got the person that you know, created came up with each of the categories for each of the cards. And then you've got the person who wrote the poetry down here that goes with it, which is just really fun. So this card is the veil. And look at how pretty that card is. Oh my gosh, I love it. And it says, so that's why they kind of sound the way that they do, because it is poetry. It's quite possible your eyes have become the fog in which you dwell, a half-swallowed glimpse of all that you truly are or can be, that the tears you bleed are ready for the storms to turn the skies inward. So you've been doing so much work, I know, on yourself and on knowing yourself and facing fears and like tuning into the bravery within. But sometimes we can get so focused on that we can actually miss some things, some small things, like some details that need to be attended to within us. So that's what I'm feeling like. The image that I kept seeing was like, if you get married, or we've seen movies where the bride has a blusher on, right? And she pulls the blusher off so that she can fully see who she's marrying, and so that the groom can see who he's marrying, right? Because back in the day, they maybe didn't know it was an arranged marriage. But I literally see you like taking that blusher and pulling it behind so that you've got clear vision. So this is to say that you're on the right path, you're doing everything perfectly, but just maybe take some time to not look at the big picture, the big wide picture, but to bring it back to right here. So I hope that makes sense, Nat, and thank you for being here. And life as she knows it is changing it. Leslie is changing, Leslie says. So that makes sense. Okay, Nadine, thank you for being here. And thank you, Natalie, for letting me know. Hi, Jen, welcome. Jen, let me know if you'd like a card. I'm pulling cards. So, and I have time for a few more. So, okay. So Nadine, this is your card, and this feels very much about the full moon. I'm just going to say this, Nadine. This card feels very much about the full moon, and in the full moon, it's all about like the rest, right? The full moon is the yin of the moon's phases. So the new moon is the action. That's the yang portion. Set new intentions and get things done. The full moon is when we want to kind of relax. Not that we don't do things, but we want to be more in the feminine. We want to be more in the peaceful resting phase. So although this is an action card, it's going to be about rest, Nadine, for you in this 2 weeks of the full moon. So third harvest. Oof. Again, I love these cards. I just think they're so beautiful. Daughters of the woods, fill thy sacred swell with suppleness. Taste the gathering of honey's milk, filling your emptiness. So really the time to just gather as much as you can. Really, whatever you did during winter, whatever dreams came to you in the quiet, whatever hopes, swelled up within you, gather them and decide the seeds that you want to plant for the spring, right? We're in spring, but we're not ready to plant yet, right? We're still in the collecting, organizing, getting it all straight. So this is the time to do that, Nadine. So I want to read that first part again. Daughters of the woods, feel thy sacred swell with suppleness. So you are sacred. Understand that. Know that. You're worthy of the dreams that you have. You're worthy of the garden that you want to grow, right? The abundance that you want to bring in your life. Know that and bring that in. Okay, Jen. No, I don't need a question, Jen. We're just doing, thank you so much, but we're just doing cards today for like the full moon, for bringing in hope, whatever I'm feeling really is what it's about, because that's kind of how I do it. My intuition can't help but come in. So Tammy, thank you for being here, Tammy. We're going to use the women's bodies, women's wisdom for you, Tammy. This card feels about hope for you, Tammy. So just like remembering hope, having hope, it's easy to lose hope. Like I said earlier, it's really easy to lose hope and to forget what we're here for, or what our, I believe we all have two purposes. I'm just going to say this real quick. We all have two purposes. We all have the same primary purpose, which is to be a light and to be love. We come into this world as pure love, and that's our job, is to be that pure love physically for the world, right? Embody it and bring it to ourselves and the world. Then we all have a secondary purpose, which is how we express that love in the world. So this can be, this can be our role that we play in our families or with our friends. It can be our work. It's whatever. And that's where we differentiate, right? We all have the same primary purpose, I believe. And then we all have our specific, individual, very personal secondary purpose. So it's easy to lose hope and forget about our purpose, right? Our primary and our secondary. But that's our job every day, is to do what we can to remember. We don't have to learn it. It's always there. We just need to see it. We need to remember it's there and open our eyes to it. Oh, you're welcome, Nadine. I'm glad that helped. So, Tammy, here is your card from Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. This one is imagine and allow. Okay, this is enlightened heart and mind again, but imagine and allow. So, when we lose hope, it's because we feel like things are lost. So this card is really asking you to imagine what you want to be, right? Daydream. Spend some time daydreaming. Like, go to your favorite space, indoors or out, and spend some time daydreaming. What do I want in life? Like, what if it's about a specific relationship? Because that's what keeps coming up, Tammy. Feels like it's about 2 specific relationships, actually. So if those aren't working and you feel like they're not quite balanced, sit with what you want them to be. Like, daydream. What do you want? What do you want your conversations to be like with those people? What do you want your activities to be like those people? What do you want your engagements to be like? Daydream. Get clarity and then allow it, right? Open. This is the time. This full moon is the perfect time. And like I said at the beginning, the Scorpio full moon is a lot and it's emotional, and Scorpio loves to be secret and hold it all in and, not reveal our cards, so to speak. But that's not what's going to happen. And Mars is going to help shed some light so that we don't do that, because we want to remember that we don't have to be secretive. We don't have to be in shame. We don't have to feel like we've done a lot of things wrong and that we can't undo anything. We just need to be present and move forward. So I hope that card helps, Tammy, but spend some time imagining and then allowing, right? It's twofold. We want to imagine it. We want to create that picture in our brain, and we want to send that out to the universe saying, this is what we want. And then we want to sit back open-handed, open-hearted to allow it to come into our life. It's, that's our responsibility, right? We feel like our responsibility is one thing, and that's to be clear about what we want and send it out to the universe. But if we're not open to allow it, it won't come. The door's closed. We've closed the door. So we got to open that door, allow it to come in. I hope that helps, Tammy. Okay, Jennifer. Jennifer, we are going to do the Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom for you as well. And the thing that feels very much is right now, Jennifer, if you could relax into this full moon and not be so hard on yourself about everything you got to get done. Feels like not only do you have a list of like a lot of things, a paper list, like what I've created, right? You have a paper list of a lot of things that need to be done, but in your brain, there is a list that goes on and on. Like, I can't see the end of it. That's how big it is. So it's time to kind of let that list in here go. Put it down as much as you can on paper and like prioritize it and cross things off that don't need to be there. Let go of that, because this list in here, it's like emotional clutter, and that doesn't serve us. That doesn't really help us, right? So we want to be really clear about that. Like, let go of what you can and clean the clutter as much, because that's how we get clarity. That's how we're grounded and embodied and present, which is what we all want. Okay. So this card is partnership, and it's about regrouping. So exactly what I just said, right? You can make this stuff up. It's perfect. Like, regroup, like get a handle on that running list in your head, get as much down on paper as you can, prioritize it, cross things off, let things go, and do that. The other thing that feels like is coming through, Jennifer, for you is at night, if you could like clear everything that didn't get done that day that was on your to-do list, like literally, I let it go. I let it go. Tomorrow's a new day. that'll help you rest and have regenerative rest, which is very important. So I hope that helps, Jennifer, and makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Did I read for Nadine already? I think I did. Did I do that already? I did. I don't know why I did that, Nadine. Hi, Nina. I'll put you on here. But Nadine, will you let me know? Is there somebody that I didn't know? I read for Natalie. Oh, I had Nadine on here twice. That's my problem. Okay. Shelby, we're on to you now. Okay, so Shelby, this feels like we need an action card for you. And, ooh, the card fell out. So if you guys are ever doing cards and you're playing with them and a card jumps out, that's your card, okay? Doesn't matter if you've shuffled 10 times, a half a time. If the card jumps, it's yours, okay? So Shelby, this is your card. And this card is really for hope and like, because I feel like you have hope, but it can get buried very easily under a lot of emotional stuff. So this card is about returning to that hope, cleaning and clearing. Okay, so let's see what the card is. Oh, wolf again. We got wolf again, right? So this says, devour the ferocious calling within the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Like the hope is buried, right? And we can't be ferocious about it. Like when we are super clear, when we have cleaned and cleared the emotional clutter and we are absolutely certain about who we are and what we're here for, it's like we cannot be stopped. We are like a ferocious wolf, right? We know what we want. We're going after it. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can get in the way. But when our hope and our purpose and our clarity is under a bunch of, emotional debris, we have to clean and clear it away to get to that hope. So it feels like this wolf, I don't know if wolf is a totem for you, Shelby, or if you know what that is, but it feels like wolf is a very important animal spirit for you to connect with and to really read about and, embody some of that and call on wolf, right? When we are feeling like we don't know what our hope is, or we've lost our purpose or our clarity, these spirit animals can help a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the picture of the owl that I took that is unbelievable to me. Because first of all, I can't take good pictures. Like, I'm not a photographer. But this owl was in the tree in my backyard, and I walked out onto my steps to take a picture, and I said, as I was zooming, in on my camera, I said, "Oh my gosh, he's so gorgeous." And he turned and looked at me. And it was like that owl was looking right into my soul and speaking to me. So I have had my Ted Andrews Animal Speak book, earmarked on the owl page. And I've been reading it every single day since to get clarity of there's so many messages in it. And what stands out one day may not stand out the next, and it's different. So it's important to do that. So, Shelby, if that makes sense anyway, with the wolf and reminding yourself of, you've got that calling within. The calling doesn't go anywhere, right? It just gets dimmer or more quiet because we've, covered it up with stuff. So just be aware of that. Okay. Shelby, I hope that makes sense. Oh yeah, Jen, thank you. Yes, that was my sister's. I share a backyard fence with my sister. We're lucky enough to do that. And that owl was in her yard, and that flowering plum tree is just so beautiful. So, the yellow eyes with those pink blooms, it was just stunning, and it was such a gift, and I'm grateful for it. The cards are called, let me show you. I'll show you the Seasons of the Witch, the Samhain Oracle. Okay, that's the card deck that I used for you, Shelby. Okay, and then Jen, I'm feeling like we need the Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom for you. Okay, and again, this card feels like it's twofold. It's for the full moon that we're in today, that starts today. I feel like you've been feeling the energy a lot, Jen, and that of this moon, and emotions have been high and surprising. Like it, I hope it's okay that I say this, Jen, but it feels like some things that maybe you thought had been laid to rest or put to bed have popped up in the last couple days, and it's kind of, you know, not necessarily throwing you off, but just made you go, oh goodness, oh, we're back at that. Okay, here we go. And so this is for the moon, and also about just kind of cleaning up some emotional clutter. Okay. And so that's what this card feels like. So nurturance and self-care. Oh my goodness. Okay, so important. And whoops, that I was talking about a little earlier with the compassion and the nonviolence with how that's important that we remember that and be aware of that within ourselves. Like that's what this feels like. I don't know if there's some projects that you haven't gotten done or that haven't gotten done on your timeline. But it feels like be gentle with yourself and remind yourself that, timing isn't ours. Like the best laid plans, right? What's that, saying we plan and God laughs or something like that, but it's true. It's like, we can have the best laid plans, but our plans don't take into account life as it comes and things that happen and how we have to adjust our schedules. So be gentle with yourself and just nurturance and self-care. And I'm going to say, I want to change that to not self-care, sacred care, sacred self. The more that you can remember that this is self-care on such a deep level that we've got to call it sacred care because self-care doesn't cut it. Okay. That's what I'm talking about here, Jen. So, yeah. Oh, you say that, man plans and God laughs. I love that because I do too. I say that all the time. I remind myself of that pretty much on a daily basis, right? The best laid plans and God laughs. So I hope that makes sense, Jen, but sacred care. You're a sacred, beautiful being. And remember that and, allow that for yourself. All right. And Nina, I love Nina. My daughter's name is Angelina, but we call her Nina. She's named after my mom, who was Angelina. And my mom went by Lena, except for with her brother and his family that lived in California. And when she would go to visit them when she was young, she was the youngest of 7. And when she would go visit this particular brother in San Jose and his family, her sister-in-law and that family started calling her Nina after there was a famous ballerina back then that I can't remember her name, but so they called her Nina her whole life. And I loved it. And I just thought it was so beautiful. And so when my daughter was born, Angelina was one of the names that I liked and thought would be nice. And then I thought, how cute if I called her Nina. And so because we have she has a cousin who's Angeline and goes by Angie. So I wanted to name both of my kids after my parents if it looked like the names fit them, because I was kind of weird about that. I didn't name my babies till I saw them. I needed to set my eyes on their little faces and really know what their names were. So this card is for you, Nina. And this one feels like it's about the full moon and secrets. That's what keeps coming up, like things that you think are, hidden away and won't see the light of day. They're coming to mind, and it's time to look at them in a different way. Look at them with a new set of compassionate, beautiful, nonviolent eyes, because when we're talking nonviolence, there's no room for shame. There's no room for regret. There's no room for embarrassment. Only love, right? So this card is going to be about you shedding those perspectives that you've had in the past. And it's divination. Oh, what a beautiful card this is. Okay. And look at all those oracle cards she's got in front of her, right? So take a breath, take it twice. Insightful reflections are guarded by light, which perfect because the light is the love, right? When we shed light on those things, we see them in new ways, and suddenly they don't feel so big. They don't feel so scary. They don't feel so shameful. And that's what we're here for. We're here to let those things go and, be the people that we're here to be. Again, talking about those purposes, the primary purpose, the secondary purpose. If we are keeping things hidden and we're terrified of, letting things come into light, we're not really living our purpose. We're not really doing all that we're here to do. So beautiful card. Okay. Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here on my first YouTube Live. I'm really excited. I'm going to be really moving everything to YouTube because it's easy. I really need one place to be. Like it's too much for my brain to handle, to have 4 different places to go and post and do things. So I'm going to be here on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you can you'll get reminders that way. You'll get notifications when I'm going to be doing things, when I schedule things, and then you can set a reminder, which I love because it's not always easy to remember everything that's going on because there's a lot of stuff. And thank you all so much. I appreciate. This is not my first live. I want to be clear about that. I've been doing YouTube lives and Instagram lives for a long time, but my first YouTube live. And so I really, this is where I'm trying to bring everybody so that I have one place so that there's everything here. And there's a lot of fun things coming up. I'm going to be doing a podcast. I'm starting that in May. That's going to be here on YouTube as well. And a show with my daughter, my beautiful daughter, who I call Nina. And we're going to be doing some things together, sharing our gifts and with cards and different things. And I'm excited for that. But it's all going to be here, one place. So if you're looking for what Michelle is doing, you will know where to come. You won't have to worry about missing it on Instagram or missing it on Facebook. You'll know where it is. And also, I invite you to join my email list, Michelle. You can go to my website, michellesnelling.com, and get on my emailing list. And I also do some announcements on there. But thank you all so much for being here today. And I look forward to connecting with you again. If you're not on the Ajata Kasha app, please go there. You will love it. It is the most beautiful community and the most beautiful information and education. And it makes me feel so good every day when I go there. And my newsfeed is beautiful, always beautiful, because it's compassionate and nonviolent. So thank you all. Enjoy this beautiful full moon. If there's anything that I can help with, please reach out to me. Like I said, you can message me on I'm still on those social media places. I'm still on Instagram. I'm still on Facebook. You can reach me in the Ajata Kasha app. You can email me at michelle@michellesnelling.com. Whatever is the best way. If you need some help or you want a product recommendation, which I love to do. Products are not one size fits all. They're very individual and personal. So I'd love to help you with that. But love you all. Have a beautiful full moon, and we will see you later.